Morning. So, good morning, all of you. In the last class, we were discussed about both in it tools and methods using for cyber crime. As part of that, yesterday we saw about what is uh, proxy servers and what are the common general attacks are there. These are discussed. And I told you, I will show you what is a proxy server and how it is enable and disable in the browser. So let me, we will finish up that and we will continue today's topic, phishing. Okay. So, where is the proxies available? Before that, I am going to be shown some minimum details about the proxy server in various browsers, how we want to be enabled, and then I will show you directly with my system how the proxy is enabled. My screen is visible to everyone. My screen is visible to everyone. Hello. Hello. My screen is visible to everyone. Can someone answer, please? Screen be కనపడుతుందా? So how to configure your browser to access the internet? So I already told that the proxy server is used to bridge between the user and the internet services. So this is the way you can. So how to configure the browser to access the internet? Open Internet Explorer, click icon, Internet option, and select the option LAN settings. Generally, how we are going to do the LAN settings, and select automatically detect the settings. Then click OK. This is the internet browser. While coming to Google Chrome, go to options, then change the proxy settings. Change the proxy settings, then we can go to configure and LAN settings. Then there we are going to be give the LAN IP address. Then we can get access to internet. Okay. Then select automatically detect the settings and that's all. So various browsers how. So for example, in case of any problem, so how to change this one proxy auto detection to please verify the script manually. So we'll go to select them manually, and where we are going to be select this one. Here we have no address. So there we can give different address. The address is like this. We can give an IP address along with the port number we are going to use. Okay. Okay. So along with IP address and port number we are going to give. This one we will do manually and auto detection difference. So let me, I will show you these settings in my browser, how it will be. Then we can generally easily analyze that how the proxy is going to be. So generally we will go to, my screen is visible to everyone. This is my Google Chrome home page. Then you can go to settings, go to settings. So see that the privacy and security check is there. No? There we have so clear browser cookies and security sites and privacy standards. And wait a second. So these where we have the various certificates is there, no? HTTPS and SSL certificates will be there, will be available here to Google Chrome. Second, I will show you. Okay. My screen is visible to everyone. My screen is visible to everyone. See that? Go to settings. Chrome, go to settings. Then we have an option of advanced here. Go to advanced, and here we have system is there. There system, we can see that. Open your computer proxy settings. I think it is visible to everyone. How we are going to be check with this connect. So it is a bridge between the proxy server is a bridge between the computer and the internet connectivity. So we are going to be make this open settings this one. Second, the option screen is not visible. I'm going to be made visible screen also. We already saw in the PPT. So this is one. So general security, privacy, content and connections. So there we are going to be LAN settings. So see that use the proxy server LAN settings, or we can view select automatically. So if it is not getting automatically, then we can give some manual IP address. So here see that IP address and port number is there. No? So we can enable this one, and so I'm not giving this now right now, because if anything happens, internet connectivity will go, then again Zoom will be logged out. So I'm not checking anything. So here this is a general LAN settings, and you can so, and also in if any applications or websites which is not properly um, working properly, or anything else if it is happened, it generally asking, so change the proxy settings. It is asked the options it will use by the websites. Please go to proxy settings and check it whether it is properly connected or not. That type of things it will shows again and again. Okay. So that is about proxy settings. So we already know that what is a proxy. So let me, I will give one time, once again definition for the proxy, then we will continue today's topic. So that is a proxy server is a computer A network which acts as an intermediate for connection with other computer on the network. So proxy server is a computer on network which is act as an intermediary for the connection which is the other computers on the network. So that is a proxy servers and anomalizers. So today's topic is about phishing. So in the unit 2 also we discussed about phishing. What is a phishing? What is a phishing? What is phishing? So phishing refers to an attack using email program to deceive internet users into disclosing the confidential information that can be exploited for illegal purpose. So phishing refers to an attack using mail program to devise the internet users into disclosing the confidential information that can be exploited for illegal purpose. So they are sending some unwanted emails to us to get their personal information. So what is this phishing means? While checking the electronic mail, one day a user finds a message from the bank threatening to close the bank account if or she does not reply immediately. So like that email. So you get any emails like so your account is open and your account is not closed properly. So please close immediately or else you will have problem with an account. Something threatening mails will come from the bank. Although the message seems to be suspicious from the content of the message, and it is difficult to conclude that it is a fake or false email. So it is difficult to find out whether it is a fake mail or maybe we, for example, he may operate some of the banks and is not yet closed properly also. So sometimes we are getting alerts from the bankers, no? Please check the properly. If it is not by you, then you can close. You can change the password. Generally, if you withdraw some amount through the ATM, immediately you will get a message. No? What it so if you are not done this transaction, please contact this number and we can close immediately. Like that. So we may sometimes seems to be suspicious. So whether it is come from the original, that is a true mail or a fake mail. This message and others such messages are example for phishing. In addition to stealing the personal and financial data, the meaning of phishing is sending some electronic mails. Through that mails, the user may knowing or unknowingly is going to be open. Then the attacker can get the details of personal information or financial data about and can infect systems with virus and also methods of online ID theft and various cases. So it's not only stealing, they are stealing some online IDs also. This message looks authenticate and attempts to get in users to reveal their personal information. So the message likes looks like an authenticate and to attempt to get the users reveals their personal information. A message చూడంగానే ఏంటంటే automatically the user అనేవాడు okay it is the original message we can expose our personal information to them. So like that it is going to be happening. It is believed that the phishing is an alternative spelling of phishing as in as in to fish for information. Fish for means gathering the information. The first document used for word fishing in 1996. So the word came into picture in 1996. Then how come it works? How come it works? Fishers works in the following ways. So how phishing is sending some unwanted emails. Through that email, they are going to be get the personal information or personal financial data or personal IDs also. So how they are the attackers will do these phishing means? The first one is a planning. What is the planning? Criminals are usually called as a fishers and decided to decide the target. The planning means they are first of all they are going to be target one person. They are going to be start. Next one is setup. Once the fishers knows which uh, bus- business or which business house of snow and other victims. So they are going to be find once they are going to be target, then they are going to be target on one particular business. Then one is attack. The fisher sends an phone messages that appears to be from the reputable sources. Okay, the message come from some repeated means famous things only. Generally, you can how means you won 1 crore rupees from the Coca-Cola. So, is a Coca-Cola is a big company only, a reputable company only. So the people's know that okay, we may got it or something. Then definitely it is a fake message. So the people's knowing or unknowingly they are going to be using information and sending their personal. Once the fisher sends the phony messages to the appears from the reputable sources. Then fourth one is about collection. Fishers record the information of victim entering into the web pages or a pop-up windows. Once the peoples are going to be click on that particular message, automatically it is going to be used and pop up or it is entering into the some other web pages like this. Then identity the theft and fraud. The fishers uses the information they can have gathered to make the illegal purchase or commit to fraud. They are making us to make okay you are going to be buy this one, so illegal purchases. So you can click on here, we can definitely win simply will receive recently messages, no, some messages, the spin ball we can send these messages to your WhatsApp 5 WhatsApp groups or 20 people. We will going to be get an win an Apple iPhone, so like that. So that uh, message or application link should transfer to everyone, and through that everyone while they are clicking on that particular message, automatically the message information will receive the source of personal information to the owner who is created that. That is the way of phishing. How the phishing work means, the first one is they are going to be plan and set up and attack and collecting and identity the theft and fraud. Okay. So phishing is simply sending an electronic mail to get the information, personal information or financial information or thefting IDs. So how these thefting information is, they're going to be planning, they're going to be set up the fishers which business or something which is not going to be a proof of victim. Then attack fishers sends some messages. It should be like some repeated companies, repeated source like. Then collecting the record of information victim enter into the web page or some other new window will be open, pop-up will be open. Then identity the theft, fraud, and fishers to they have gathered the illegal purchase are committed to. So can conclude that finally nowadays more and more organizations institute provide the gather online access for their customers, and hence the criminals are successfully using the phishing technique to steal the personal information and conduct the ID theft as in a global. See that nowadays what are the things, what are the purchases, everything we are doing online only. So what is going to be happened online? So how, for example, how the Flipkart customer is going to be identify you? So maybe your user ID, your password, username and password. If we are giving automatically, what is going to be happen? They are going to be identify you, and they are going to be sending some products and maybe some type of mode you are paying amount. They are going to be. So are you checking always that item come from the original source? So no. So just we are believing the Flipkart, then we are doing all those. So something if it is happened with the Flipkart server, so what is going to happen? So our personal details, all those things, they are going to be there. So by that they can have committed to make some, and that's only always we are asking to don't give credit card, debit card numbers, and CVC and mobile numbers. I should not share with any other people. Like that, they are sending their messages. No? Like that is it. And also don't use autofill option in your browser. It's my personal suggestion. Don't use autofill options in the browser. Maybe sometimes it has phishing, you know that what is that pop-up windows or some new web pages it will come automatically. You are giving allow something, you are error something, it is okay allow something, messages will come. We are not interested to read what is why we are giving a okay and why we are giving allow. Simply we are giving allow. Automatically the browser autofill options will sends your personal information to the unknown person. So try to uh, remove the auto fill options in your. Okay, this one is about the phishing, how the phishing works. And today's the second topic is about password crack. Password crack. What is this password crack? So this is a general topic only, but uh, we neglected it. So, oh, nothing will happen. No one is going to be do something we are going to do. Seems like. So everyone, please be aware and how to make a password and how to save with your passwords. So what is a password cracking? Password, before come to know that what is a password. Password is like a key to get enter into your customized systems like a lock. Okay. Password is like the key. So how we are going to be entering into the house with the key. The same way if we are entering into a computerized, it's like lock. Password cracking is a process of recovering passwords from the data that have been stored or transmitted by the computer system. Password cracking is a process of recovering passwords from the data that has been stored in or transmitted by a computer system. Usually, an attacker follows the common approaches to repeatedly making guesses for the password. Generally, how this password cracking is going to be happened by the attacker is the attacker usually follows some common approach, repeatedly making the guesses for the password. Now, I will show you some of the guesses. What are that? Definitely, everyone no need to expose in front of class. So definitely, If you have like that passwords, please change immediately and make it some uh, strong passwords. You cannot say that meaningful passwords. If it's a meaningful password also, it is a problem. So make some strong password. So based upon the rules which we are following for making one common, that is what we will say, some rules will be displayed for every password setters. So follow the password settings rules, and based upon that you can set a password. By that your password makes strong password. The purpose of password cracking is as follows. The purpose of password cracking is as follows. To recover to forgotten password, to recover a forgotten password as a preventive measure by the system administrator to check for easily crackable passwords, to gain unauthorized access to the system. So if the password cracks happen, cracking is happen, is recover to forgotten the password as preventive the measure of system administrator to crack easily, check for easily crackable passwords and unauthorized access to this. So these are the things. Then manual passwords cracking is to attempt the login with a different password with attackers following the steps. Okay, manual passwords cracking is to attempt the logon with the different passwords. The attacker follows the following steps. So how it will be. So for that only I used to tell, see that usernames are unique and passwords are maybe same. The unique usernames known by everyone and the common password should not known by anyone else. So find a valid user account which is an administrator or guest. So how it will be, for example, if I want to know your Gmail password, your Gmail ID is a valid user, no? Valid user account. So once I know your user ID, then I am trying a password from and trying a multiple times. I am going to be trying your password. So find a valid user account such as an administrator and create a list of possible passwords. So this is the thing. The attacker follows the following steps. Attacker follows the steps. So find an valid user, then create a list of possible passwords. Rank the passwords from the high to low probability. Rank the password from high to low probability. What is the probability? Guessing is the high level to low level. Then key in each password. Key in each password. So when we are changing multiple types of passwords, so what is the general key in that particular password? Then try again until the successful password is found. Try again until the successful password is found. So these are the things will be followed by attacker to follow the steps. Finding a valid user and create a password, possible passwords, and making a high probability, high to low probability of write the passwords. Then key in each password and try again until the successful. Passwords can be guessed sometimes with the knowledge of the user's personal information. Passwords can be guessed sometimes with the knowledge of the user's personal information. For example of guessable passwords are include blank, the words like password, passcode, and admin. So we are giving a password as a password also. Password or passport and admin. Then another one is series of letters which is from the quarterly keyboard. For example, quarterly is ASDF. Why it is this ASDF? You can see that ASDF are the side by side letters. Or we can use quarterly Q QWERTYIOP. What is this? You can check your keyboard. These the letters are in side by side in the first line of keyboard, and ASDF is the second line. So making the series of letters from the quarterly keyboard. Then username or login name. Sometimes you are giving username and password as same also. Username or a login name. Sometimes name of the users, friends, relatives, and pets. Name of the users, friend, relatives, and pets. Another guessable password is users, birthplace, or date of birth, or a relatives, or a friends. Relatives, or a friend. So see that simply we can identify these the information. We can collect it all those things from your Facebook profile. Why can't we guess all those things? We can find your father's name, mother's name, your relationship names, and maybe you can find your birth name and birthplace. Everything you can find it from your general profile. You can log in. Another very much interesting this one users vehicle numbers. So maximum I know that vehicle number is 4 digits. All of your ATM password will be your vehicle number. Now you can think how many of them kept the same thing. Vehicle number is there, no? Last 4 digits. That will be your ATM card PIN number. Or else some office numbers or residence numbers, or sometimes it is a mobile number also. We are keeping all those things. Now we can think that how many are using, how many are kept as your password such that the crackers can guess your passwords. Then another one is name of celebrity who is considered to be an idol. That is your motivative person. The hero name or a businessman name, something. So how we can guess this one also? So a profile you, for example, my favorite actor is my favorite actors is like this. Like that you are going to be give. Then maybe sometimes you are going to be keep the same as your password. So for example, actors, actress, and a spiritual graces by the user. So these are the things to be very danger. So see that don't go any of them these to be your passwords. So because these are the guessable passwords by the attacker can easily guess your passwords. Then an attacker can also create a script file that is automated program which can be executed right each password in text. So how it will be? This is still considered a manual cracking. It is a time consuming and is not usually ineffective. So passwords are stored in a database and passwords are verification process. It is established into the system whenever the user attempts to log in or access the restricted resources. Restricted resources. To ensure the confidentiality of passwords, the password verification data is usually not stored in a clear text format. Generally, it is not stored in a clear text format. Something it is, we know that encryption, decryption, no. So in different manner it is going to be stored. So he is trying background. He is trying a different program. That program is retrieving your names and each and every time it's trying until the password is successfully cracked. For example, one way the function, which may be either encryption function or a cryptographic hash function, is applied to a password. We know what is a hash function? Hash function, what is a hash function? What is going to be happen? What is a hash key? Have you remember? Hash is message digest. Have you remember? So we are going to be conclude all those message digest number, and we are sending that number into the then other side we are going to be have to again do the message digest in other side, the final answer and the sending message digest both is going to be checked. Have you remember that hash function? That is simple here. It's applied for password and possibly the combination of with others data, and the resulting value is stored. When a user attempts to log in the system by entering a password, the same function is applied to enter the value. The result is compared. That is the meaning of hash function. So compared with the stored value. If they match, the user gains the access. This process is called authentication. We already discussed in the last semester in cryptography. But the same thing. The most commonly used hash functions can be computed repeatedly, and the attacker can test these hash with the help of password cracking tools to gain the plain text passwords. Password cracking attacks can be classified under categories as follows. The categories, one is online password cracking, that is how it is going to be means. Online, offline attacks, online attacks and offline attacks, and non-electronic attacks. So non-electronic attacks means such as social engineering. We know what is a social engineering. The second one we discussed already, social engineering. It may be a human-based social engineering or computer-based social. That is a social engineering. And shoulder stuffing and dumpster driving. So this is a simple names. Say seeing a password as a background, back of your shoulder, and something మనం జనరల్ గా చెప్తాం కదా ట్రై చేసేటప్పుడు, అరే ఆ పాస్వర్డ్ కొట్టరా నేను డ్రైవింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను అని ఎవరో ఒకరు మనం చెప్తాం కదా, సేమ్ అలానే. లేదు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకి ఒళ్ళు బద్దకం లోపలికి వెళ్ళకుండా అరే పాస్వర్డ్ చెప్తున్నాను ఏటీఎం లో డబ్బులు తీసుకోవాలి. సో నాన్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ అటాక్స్ అనమాట. జనరల్ గా మనంతట మనం చెప్పుకొని by believing this we are going to give a passwords to others. In that, what is online attacks? An attacker can be create in a script file that will be executed, right? Each password in the list. When the list matches, the attacker can gain the information, gain access to the system. The most popular online attack is man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack. In the cryptography first unit, I think you may heard about this word, man in the middle. When Alice and Bob both are doing, so Alice patterns everything and Bob pattern everything is going to be known by the man in the middle. He is trying to send the messages like Alice is sending to Bob and Bob is replying to Alice. Term man in the middle attack is also termed as a bucket bridge attack. Sometimes it is also called Jones attacks. It is a form of an active stealing in which the attacker established the connection between the victim and the service server which is to victim is to be connected. When as a victim client connected to a fraudulent server, the man in the middle attack, the server interrupts the call, hash, hashes the password and faces the connection to the victim server. For example, attacker within the reception's range of unencrypted Wi-Fi wireless access point can be inserted himself in the man in the middle. So that is, if you know the Wi-Fi password, then you can easily crack the server also. This type of attacks is usually to obtain the passwords for email accounts on a public websites such as Yahoo, Hotmail, and Gmail, and can also be used to get the password in a financial website that would be gained access to the bank websites also. Then we can come to the offline attacks. We'll see these offline attacks in the next class. So already 9:23. So we'll give 5 minutes break so that we can attend for the next class. So have any doubts so far? You can ask me. If you have any doubts so far, you can ask me. Then we'll